So what we are talking is like we will be from now onwards, we are going to create an application. Okay, the application name is Heroes Tours of Heroes. This is the application that we are going to create. So while creating this application, we will learn all basic or important concepts of Angular one by one, and so that at the end of learning, right, and you will be knowing like how to use those concepts in the project. So this is going to be complete project, that is a Tours of Heroes. This project you will be able to find inside the portal angular.io official portal and slash tutorials. If you go to the angular.tutorials, right, and then you will have the tutorials Tours of Heroes. In this you have the different concepts of important concepts of Angular. One is how to create a project, and then in the creation of the project you have the different functionalities creating. Okay, a hero editor, okay, editing the heroes. Okay, display list of heroes. Okay, future components, how to create, adding services, navigation, data from the server, how to fetch the data from the server. All those different concepts you will be able to learn it one by one. Okay, that is what we are trying to do. And I wanted to show you how that application Tours of Hero will look like once you complete. Okay, once you complete developing that application, how that application will look like. Okay, so if I go here in the Go Live project, I think I already opened it here, so I'll show it here. Okay, so this is how it look like. Okay, when I go to the by default, it will show you Tools of Heroes, and then you have the two tabs here: dashboard, heroes, two tabs, and then you have the top heroes. Okay, you're listing out the top heroes here, four top heroes that you're listing it out, and then if you wanted to search out particular hero name, and you can search. There is a clear button if you want to clear out all these messages, and that will work. So that is a dashboard that you have. And now, if you click on heroes, I am trying to demonstrate this application now. And click on the heroes, and what will be there? So you have an option to add new hero here. And along with that, have the existing heroes listed out here. Okay. So what I did, I added recently one hero, that Mahesh here, by using this option. Okay. So when I select this one, I should be able to get the details of Mahesh. Okay, and there is ID and the hero name, two things that I have, and I will be able to modify this. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can modify. Okay, and save it, and I go back and check whether it is able to save. Okay, it is getting saved. So I do have the option to delete the existing heroes. Okay, if you click on this into, Nicole will be deleted. Okay, that is what is happening. So, and you can, like this, you can also add other names, and you can add the heroes. Those are the features that you have on the hero page. Okay, and if you go to the dashboard, and dashboard you have the top four heroes, and then you have an option to search. So I wanted to search let's say Mahesh here. Okay, so I will be able to get Mahesh here. So if I search with something AMA, and you're getting probabilities of like, right, auto typing option also be enabled. Okay, I was looking for this guy, getting it now. So that is how you will be able to search. So these are the simple functionalities that you're going to learn in this course. Okay, so that you understand the concepts, how to use them, right? That is what we are trying to do it. Once you complete this project on yourself, okay, in maybe a 2 weeks of time, then I will give you the complex project, very quite a difficulty one, where it looked like exactly the industry standards one, and then you should be able to become an expertise in the Angular. Okay, that is what it is. So don't miss out any sessions. Try to attend all the sessions on time, so that you will not get any confusion. And let's begin with that. Okay, so far, do you have any questions on this application, what we are going to do for next couple of days? Any queries, any questions, any doubts, clarification that you require, do let me know now. And I will go back and create an application now. Okay. So we are going to forget about this one. So I'm going to close this and I'm going back to this one. Where is that? Portal, this Angular dot. Okay. So I would recommend you also follow the same tutorial and while learning and to begin with. Okay. And let's start this one. So there is nothing in this induction, right? Introduction, getting started, how to do all those things. CLI, all those things we have already done it. And this is how your project look like. Okay. And these are the functionalities, business requirements that you have to implement. Okay. And this is how the dashboard, this is the detail space, this is so and so, all those things he is trying to explain. So this is where you have the diagram. They will list out the dashboard is one other thing that you have. Okay. So that's a demo introduction that he is giving about. And then coming back to creating the project. So creating the project that we already learned in the previous session, right? How to create a project? We can create a project using the command called ng new. Okay, that's a ng new command that you will be able to run it. Let's create a project. Okay. So what is this? This is the new command, ng new command, and this is the our application name, Angular Tools of Heroes application name. Let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. So now I'm going to do it on my system. And once the session is over, you guys can do it by yourself. Okay. So I'm going back here and I'm going to stop my existing application. And I want to go one step back so that I will create an application inside a trainings. Okay. What I have to do, ng new, and then, and this is the project name that I want to create. Ng new Angular Tools of Heroes. So I'm going to create this application now. So you say that prompt will come and then enter return key. Okay. Accept the default by pressing so and so. He's saying that use this one. So let's see. Yeah. That's all. So these are things that we already learn it. And routing, would you like to add routing? Let's say yes. For now, there is no harm adding it routing now. And I will use the CSS by default. Okay. Routing is something that I will explain later. So maybe 4 or 5 days, you will get that concept. So focus on 1 hour. Okay. Whenever you're in the live session, completely focus on the screen sharing and do let me know if you guys are getting any kind of questions. Okay. So my session will start exactly 10 o'clock. Okay. You guys have to be there. If you are not there, then I will automatically will get started so that I can close by 11 o'clock. And now that you have created the Angular Tools of Heroes project, so I have to navigate into this folder, right? Angular, there might be a folder which is created. Angular. Core of Heroes. Say that because it did not exist, it is saying that it is not exist in this folder. Might be wrong. spelling might be wrong. Let me copy it from here. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, tools of heroes cd to this folder. So I'm into Angular tools of heroes, and then I will also import into my Visual Studio Code that folder. I have the Angular tools of heroes here. I imported here. Save all. That is from the previous page. That is same part. Okay, and then I have Angular tools of heroes, and the project is created. What I will do is uh, I will do it later. So what? How to start your application? ng serve hyphen open. So it is going to start your application and open it. All right. So it got opened, and you can see that this is what it is running on localhost to 4200 port, and there are some default things available in this one. Okay, that is way that you have created your Angular tools of heroes application that is completed. Now let's go back to this learning portal and see what else that we need to do as the next steps. So we also discussed yesterday about a component, what is a component, okay, and what is the default component that we will be having, right? So we have something called app component for every application that we have. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about the components, right? There will be in the index, there is a Angular projects are a single page applications, and in the single page application, you will have components, different components embedded in it. Okay. So the base component for Angular applications, all Angular application is like an app component that we have. On top of it, if you have different components like a home component, menu component, and so on, so you will create your own, right? That is, you'll be creating on top of an app component. That is what we discussed yesterday. So now he's talking about components and what is a app component that we have. And then he said that make changes to so and so. We'll go back to that location later, and I'm coming back here showing this structure, project structure. Okay, so if you go to the src and you have app, inside a app you have app component. This is a routing we will discuss later. App.component.css is the one thing that you have. App.component.html and app.component.ts. So we talked about these three things yesterday. The component will consist of the css, html, and typescript files. Okay, and css for styling, html for displaying or retrieving the information, ts file is for applying the logic. Okay, and you have to combine all these three together. So what we are doing, we are using this template url and giving the name of this component. Okay, this is the name of the component. Template url is for representing or pointing to the component html. Okay, that is a html. And style url is nothing but path for a css file. So this is the path for css file, because it is in the same directory that you will be using /, so that it will be root directory, right? And that is the Windows thing. And the template URL is nothing but in the same root directory that you have app.component.html. And there is something called selector, and this selector will be used to include one component into another components. Okay, so that is where that you will be using the selector. Since we discussed like there is a single page application, Angular is a single page application, and then we have the only one page that is index.html. We want to add this component, base component, into index.html. So that's what we were doing, right? This is the index.html outer one. In that index.html, we want to put a component, app component. So how we are including that? By using app-root, app-root that we using this one. and we are going to put inside index.html. So if you go to the index.html file, and whatever you put in the body, that is what that is going to be displayed to the end user, right? So what we are putting in the body, we are putting this app-root. This app-root is nothing but the selector of app component. Okay, this is the name that you are putting. Understanding, right? This is what it is happening. Let's say if I go back here, if I change something, okay, if I change it to app, and then if I go back to UI, and then it is opened here, right? And there is nothing, it is not showing anything. Okay, there probably there is some errors in the backend because of it, you're not pointing. So there is in the index.html, there is no selector or a component app-root because we modified that to app. So if I modify this to app here in the index.html, or from I will copy from here so that you guys can relate it. Okay, so if I go back here, add this tag, save it, and come back to browser. Okay, we're able to fetch the information. That means like you're able to display whatever is there in the app module, app component in the index.html. You're able to display that one. Getting it? So I'm going to undo it because okay. All right, that is what is the app component and how it will be related to single page application, right? That's what we have. Now I want to go back to this tutorial and see what is the next step that we need to do it. So he's saying that, let me go one by one. Make changes to the application. Once you create an application, let's make a changes. That is what he's saying. So we have to make changes to all these three things, right? App.component, we have the TS file, HTML file, CSS file. So all of them, we will be doing some changes. So what he's saying that change the application title. Okay, so let's change application title. So title equal to tours of heroes. I wanted to keep name for this application, so that is why I want to give some name to this kind of a header to this one, right? So I'm giving one variable title equal to tours of heroes. That's a one that property that I'm going to declare. Kind of variables and properties you might be aware, right? Any programming language will have the properties and variables, right? This is the title that I'm declaring, and the value that I'm giving is tours of heroes. Where I have to do it, app.component.ts file, because that's where you will be adding your, it's already there, I think. Okay, so that's where you are adding that's where you are adding your variables and logic, right? In the entire TS file only, you will be declaring the variables and doing some changes. What he did is like he just removed Angular here. That's the only thing. Okay, I copied here. So if you see the tours of heroes, he made two T capital letter, H capital letter. That is what he made it. So let's do this. Remove this Angular, right? Make this T capital letter, and then let's copy here because there is no hyphens also. Doesn't matter, you can give any name here. Okay, that's a variable and it's a value that you have. Okay, that's a one small change that I have. So let's see if it is displaying on our application, Roots of Heroes. Why did we? I think you have to save everything. You see here, there is a one application, one page which is not saved. That is index.html page. That is why it is not displaying your changes. Now, if I go back here, it should be able to display. So we don't have, we have given a title for this application that is a tour of heroes, but I'm not able to display the title name on top of my website, right? It is not displaying. So what I should do, to display anything, what is the component? What is the file that we have to modify? To display anything, we have to modify inside HTML files. Okay. So in the HTML file, I'm removing everything. I'm trying to use this tag. I will explain this tag. I'm using the template title variable name. I'm going to put it here. Okay. This is exactly he's saying. Okay. And in fact, he's asking to put that inside h1 tag so that it will appear more bold. Okay. It will appear more bold. That means let's show you how different it is showing in the small letters. Now if I go back and put it inside a h1 tag, h1, okay. So if you go back to here, okay, now you see this tours of heroes is displaying. So I'm giving this something here, and then I'm putting this value actual tours of here. So it is taking from here to in this HTML file. That's what you are doing the binding. We call it as a data binding. So data binding you are doing from TypeScript file to HTML file. How you are doing using this tags, interpolation tags, right? And this is the interpolation tags that you have, and using these tags that you are doing the data binding towards of heroes to this one. Now in the whatever you write in the h1 tags, right, generally in the HTML pages, it will automatically display. But I can do something here that will display hh, right? If I go back here, so it is displaying. Our concept is not to write hardcode data here. Okay, we don't want to hardcode the data. We wanted to get the data from somewhere. For now we are hardcoding here. Maybe this data will come from the server later. Okay, so that is why we are including one variable, the title, and we are assigning the value to the title. This title is going to call here. Okay, and do the data binding here and display this one. That is what is happening. And so far so good. And then this is how it looked like. I want to display our page a little bit stylish. Okay, and to do the styling, what you need to do, you need to do some changes or add something into CSS file. And then the CSS file. So for now I'm not explaining the CSS, since I asked you to um, do it by yourself. Okay, and but I will explain whatever I'm going to modify. Okay, maybe if you guys have any kind of doubts, right, and you let me know. So you say that most apps start from the consistent looks like across the application engine. You create an empty style.css. There is a empty style.css for the purpose. Put your application wide style here. So open is asking to put, this is like a global wide. Okay, so whenever you put your CSS into this one, right, so it is going to apply for all. Okay, all application, entire application project level. So if you make changes into this particular component, right, and only this component will get updated kind of thing. So that's why he's saying that if you want to change entire theme, he's trying to add this into styles.css file. So I'm copying it here, going back, and we have the styles.css here, and you can add global style to this. So this is going to be global, means for the entire application wide. Saving it here, go back. So do you see the difference? And you see the font and its color, the background also changed. Okay, that's a style, a little bit of style that he has added. Okay, this will be improved more going further. So this is a very simple. So far what we did, so we did, this is a summary, right? You created a project using the engine new. That's what you did. Okay, that's completed. And you learn how to display the component data. Okay, that is what title that you have completed, right? You